And what they have achieved is really, for me, it is what every human society should aspire to do, to alleviate poverty. 700 million people in 30 years have been taken out of poverty. And this is the model which Pakistan should follow. Inshallah, we will follow that model. You cannot have a human society where there is a tiny rich elite and a sea of poverty. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, the rich have got richer and the majority have got poorer. And so we go back from China, learning from the experiences, all the steps we are going to take to alleviate poverty. Inshallah, in the next week or so, we will come up with a package of poverty alleviation in Pakistan. The first one, the first package of its type in our history. The next thing we learn from the Chinese experience is the importance of skill education. Human development, but specifically developing the human beings with purpose, with skills. Initially, from what I can gather, Chinese working overseas were urged to come back. And then students were sent abroad for specific technical education. And this is really the most important thing we need to do in Pakistan. We need to have a population that is skilled. Even if we cannot afford right now higher education for most of our population, at least we can train them in skills. And this is the basis. You cannot industrialize, you cannot go into high-tech industry unless you have skills. We are very fortunate, well, unfortunate in a way because it wasn't intentional, but because we mismanaged our country, a lot of Pakistanis went abroad for education. Today we are fortunate that there are at least 8 to 9 million Pakistanis working abroad. Amongst these Pakistanis, we have skilled workers who have learned abroad skills, even as labor. But then we have businessmen, we have professionals, and so this is what my government will be targeting, trying to get skilled people back into Pakistan, trying to get them to work in developed institutions where we can find employment for them. But above all, we want to invite Pakistani businesses to come back and invest in Pakistan. And then what we learn from the Chinese experiences that their leadership kept evaluating themselves, self-analysis. One of the principles written on the Central Party School of the Communist Party, which I went yesterday, was to correct your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. No institution, no country can progress which does not learn from its mistakes. If Pakistan had learned from its mistakes, it would not be where it is right now. We kept repeating our mistakes. And yet, in the last 30 years, there was a constant reevaluation in the Communist Party. It kept looking back, changing course, changing directions. What was the Communist Party 50 years ago? Been in power for these 2 months. All we have been trying to do is to figure out how to get out of the crisis. We need a separate think tank which can sit back dispassionately, look at the way we are performing, look at our various ministries, what they're doing, and constantly tell us, look ahead and say where we are going wrong, what is that we are doing right. So this is what we've learned. My team has learned that we will now go back and have a powerful think tank which will constantly be looking ahead and pointing how we can reach our vision. One of the things, and I must credit President Xi as a real statesman, one of the things they realized was the conditions must be made so that people want to invest. You must remove all impediments in the way of the investor. What is the world calls ease of doing business. You can only have ease of doing business if the cancer which creeps into every society is removed, and that is corruption. What corruption does is it makes it difficult for people to do business, and specifically the small and medium industry, which employs most number of people. The small and medium industry cannot function in a corrupt society. And so what did President Xi do? Mr. Wang, who's the vice chairman, I think, of the Communist Party, who's responsible, whose job it is to, in the Communist Party, to take care of corruption. It's called the discipline in the party. 400 ministerial level people have been investigated for corruption in 5 years. We look back in Pakistan and how many people have really been convicted of corruption. We convict the small crooks, it makes no difference at all, because we do not have the political will to put the big crooks behind bars. Unless that happens, we will never be able to contain corruption. And unless we contain corruption, we will never be able to make it easy for people to do business. We will never be able to have the enabling environment for our people to come and invest, for the overseas Pakistanis, for the Chinese investors. So we go back with my resolve even more strengthened that we have to tackle corruption in Pakistan, and we have to do everything to strengthen all the institutions that deal with corruption. We, as the Secretary Industries mentioned, the advantages Pakistan has. Let me just say, the biggest advantage Pakistan has, we have underperformed in every sector. So there is so much potential. The moment we fix our governance, every sector can perform. We can actually increase our growth rate much quicker than other countries, because every sector, by just proper management, can perform and double its output. Whether it is agriculture, whether it is in the industrial sector, minerals. Pakistan has abundance of minerals. We haven't even tapped, we barely tapped 10 or 15% of Pakistan's surface for mineral exploration. We have the whole areas where there's potentially gas available, barely 10% of that area has been explored. We have these huge gold reserves, we have copper reserves, we have salt, one of the biggest salt reserves. We have the most fertile land, which is the techniques used for agriculture are ancient. And this is again where we can learn from the Chinese experience, because in horticulture, in fisheries, China is probably, the cage fishing China is probably way ahead of other countries. So here again, this relationship with China is going to be very beneficial for Pakistan, because not only will we be able to get skills in various areas, but also help in all these sectors where we are underperforming. But Pakistan's greatest advantage is its young population. This is a vibrant force. We need to give this direction. Once you give direction to this young force of 100 million Pakistanis, this youth, impart skills, give them incentives. We have started this very ambitious program of building 5 million affordable houses in Pakistan in the next 5 years. This is where this young population can come in. The housing industry will directly impact 40 industries in the country. So the chain reaction of this housing, which we are still short of, the need for housing in Pakistan is 10 million. There are 10 million, we have shortage of houses. So 5 million houses, building 5 million houses mean the whole economy starts moving. And this is where we hope to absorb this young population which we have. But we have been given a great opportunity by CPAC. This is a great opportunity for us. It is an opportunity where we can again invite investment into our special industrial zones. It is an opportunity of connecting with China. It is an opportunity of Govt being a hub in years to come. It is an opportunity for us. It is an opportunity where we can invite Chinese investors. We have spoken with various Chinese companies. They're all ready to invest in Pakistan as long as what we should fulfill our part of the bargain is making it easy for them to do business, removing impediments in the way of the investors. And that's what we are determined to do. Finally, I want to specifically address the overseas Pakistanis. Overseas Pakistanis, I've always maintained, is one of the biggest strengths of our country. I again repeat, they have the skills. They are outstanding professionals in every field. They have the capital. And I want to assure you that we will create the enabling environment to come and invest in Pakistan and work in Pakistan. This is my guarantee to you.